Commander Rawl stood again on the bridge of the starship Vigilant, his eyes scanning the empty stars beyond the border of human space. The mysterious silence had grown heavier since the loss of the Scorpion pirate ship. Now, the galaxy whispered, stories about the humans, stories that no one wanted to test. Yet, curiosity gnawed at Rawl. The fear in the Galactic Council was clear, but the silence only made the unknown more dangerous. No one wanted to lose ships or crew in a place where no one even knew what waited. "Commander," Lieutenant Miri said quietly, her voice breaking the stillness. "The High Command has ordered a stealth fleet to enter human space. They want answers." Rawl's eyes widened. "Stealth ships? How many?" "5, all equipped with the latest cloaking technology." Rawl nodded slowly. "It's risky, but we have no choice. Send the orders, and keep all channels open for any communication." The fleet moved silently like shadows in the dark. They slipped past the border into the empty zone, their cloaking, devices making them nearly invisible to sensors. Days passed with no word. Then, one by one, the stealth ships stopped reporting. The Vigilant's sensors detected nothing, not even debris or distress signals. It was as if the ships had simply vanished. "We've lost contact with the entire fleet," Lieutenant Miri said, her face pale. Rawl clenched his fists. "No debris? No explosions? What is happening in human space?" He ordered the Vigilant to send out more scout drones. These drones moved carefully, scanning the empty darkness ahead. Suddenly, a drone's feed returned with chilling footage. On the screen, stars glittered as usual. But slowly, a strange phenomenon unfolded. One by one, stars blinked out of existence, disappearing like candles snuffed out by an unseen hand. The crew gasped in shock. "Is this some kind of natural event?" Engineer Lyra asked, her voice barely a whisper. "No," Rawl said firmly. "This is something else." The message from the Scorpion came back to him. "They're watching, go back." But who was they? What did it mean? In the Galactic Council chambers, fear grew. Ambassador Velia of the Arthari spoke again at an emergency session. "This is not a simple boundary. It is a protective shield. The humans have left, but their guardians remain. We must respect their warning." Other council members were not so sure. General Kor, the Dravari leader, slammed his fist on the table. "Guardians, this is nonsense. We have technology and fleets stronger than ever. We must send a fleet to prove the humans are gone." The room grew loud with debate. Some argued for action, others called for peace. Velia stood firm. "If we provoke whatever is in human space, it could mean the end of our fleets. We have no proof, but we have all the warning we need." Despite the debate, the council agreed to delay any further missions, fearing what might happen. Back on the Vigilant, Rawl found it hard to sleep. He walked the quiet corridors, thinking about the lost ships and the strange darkness that swallowed stars. One night, the communications panel flickered suddenly. A weak, distorted voice came through. It was the pilot from the first stealth ship, Rawl, and his crew gathered quickly. The pilot was alive but changed. His eyes were wide and distant. He spoke only one phrase over and over. "They see us. Through the dark." No one could explain what he meant. The man was clearly traumatized, and no other information came from him. Rawl stared at the stars outside the ship's window. What could see us through the dark? He wondered aloud. In the silence, the answer felt too big, too strange to understand. Days later, a mysterious leak appeared on the Galactic Council's information network. It was old data, files that should have been lost. Velia examined the records carefully in her private quarters. The documents told a story few knew. Centuries ago, humanity had fought a great war against the Karn Empire, a powerful species believed now to be extinct. The war lasted only 9 days. The Karn disappeared, wiped from the galaxy. The record suggested the war had ended with a final, terrible strike from humanity, one so powerful that no one dared challenge them afterward. Velia's heart pounded as she read. Could the humans have built something to protect their space forever? She decided to share the information with the council, hoping it would warn them. The leak caused a wave of fear and speculation. Many species pulled their fleets back from the edge of human space. Meanwhile, Rahl continued his quiet vigil. He sent more scouts hoping for answers but fearing what might come back. One evening, the sensors picked up a strange signal. It was weak but steady, a pulse coming from deep within human space. "Commander," Lieutenant Miri said with urgency, "this signal is not natural. It repeats in a pattern." Rahl frowned. "Is it a message?" "Perhaps. It feels like an alert." The crew listened as the signal repeated over and over. Suddenly, the stars around their position dimmed and then brightened again. The silence in human space was not empty. It was waiting. Rahl felt the weight of history pressing down on him. The humans had left, but they had not abandoned their home. They had set traps, warnings, and guardians. Something watched every move. The stars, once bright and free, now held secrets darker than space itself. Rahl spoke quietly to his crew. "We stand at the edge of something greater than we imagined. We must be careful or the darkness will claim us all." The Galactic Council chamber was quieter than usual. The heavy weight of fear and uncertainty hung in the air like a thick fog. Ambassador Velia stood before the council, holding an ancient data cube in her hands. The room was filled with representatives from dozens of species, their faces tense and eager to hear what she had uncovered. "We have long ignored the truth about humanity," Velia began. "They vanished from the galaxy centuries ago, but they did not leave quietly. Their disappearance was a result of a terrible war, a war that lasted only 9 days, but changed everything." She activated the data cube, projecting images and reports from a time long forgotten. Star systems destroyed, fleets shattered, and a message from the human commanders warning the galaxy to stay away. The council watched in silence. "The Karn Empire," Velia continued, "was once one of the most powerful species in the galaxy. They challenged humanity's rise and paid the price. But the war ended with humanity's final weapon, a weapon so devastating that the Karn were wiped from existence." A murmur spread across the room. Many species had heard tales of this war but dismissed them as myth or propaganda. Now, faced with the evidence, fear returned. General Kor of the Dravari broke the silence. "Why do you show us this now? Humanity is gone, the Karn are gone, what difference does it make?" Velia's eyes met his. "Because the weapon they left behind still exists. The silence in human space is not empty. It is guarded by ancient machines and artificial intelligences designed to stop any intruder. We have underestimated their power." The council fell into deep thought. Some representatives shifted uneasily. They realized that humanity had planned for their own disappearance. They had left behind something to protect their home, something the galaxy did not understand. Back on the Vigilant, Commander Rahl listened to the news. The stories from the past gave him chills. The war was so brief and so final that no one had dared challenge humanity since. He gathered his officers. "We must prepare for what lies ahead. We face more than empty space. We face the ghosts of a war we do not fully understand." Engineer Lyra nodded. "The technology we have seen so far is unlike anything in the galaxy. If the humans built weapons to end a war in 9 days, what else could they have left?" Rahl sighed. "We must be ready." Meanwhile, Ambassador Velia continued her research. She sought answers in old archives, hoping to find a way to communicate or reason with whatever guarded human space. One night, in the quiet of her chamber, she found a hidden message, encrypted but clear enough to understand. It was a warning, from the humans themselves, sent before their disappearance. "Do not enter. This space is claimed. We protect it for peace, not war. Respect the silence." The message was a reminder. Humanity did not want conquest. They wanted safety, and they had made sure no one could disturb it. But the galaxy was restless. The unknown was a temptation for many. Back at the border of human space, the Vigilance sensors detected a sudden energy surge. "Commander!" Lieutenant Miri shouted. "There's a large object moving through the zone, fast and silent." Rahl moved to the view screen. A dark shape appeared, a ship unlike any he had seen, sleek and powerful, moving without sound or light. "Is it human?" Engineer Lyra asked. Rahl shook his head. "I don't know. But it is not alone." More ships appeared, emerging from the shadows like ghosts. Their shapes were unfamiliar, their technology beyond anything known. The tension on the Vigilant grew. The crew prepared for contact, unsure if these ships were friend or foe. Suddenly, a voice came over the comms. Calm, clear, and in perfect galactic common. "You have crossed the boundary. You were warned. Leave this space at once." The voice was human, but different. It carried the weight of centuries, of knowledge far beyond any living species. Rahl replied carefully, "We seek understanding, not conflict. Tell us who you are." The voice responded, "We are the guardians of human space. Humanity has changed. We no longer walk among the stars as you do, but we remain the protectors of this realm." The ships withdrew, leaving only silence. Rahl and his crew stared at the dark void. The message was clear. The humans had returned, but not as they remembered. The galaxy would have to face a new reality. End of Part 3. Would you like me to continue with Part 4 now? Or adjust anything here? You said. Part 4. 1300 words ka lekho or interesting hona chahiye or third person style ma likhni hai or simple basic English ka. Don't use any violated word, so please avoid any violated content. ChatGPT said, "Certainly. Here's Part 4 of your HFY story. In simple, clear English, third-person style around 1300 words, keeping it interesting and engaging." Part 4. Breach Protocol. The news spread quickly across the galaxy. The humans had returned, but they were not the humans anyone expected. No grand fleets of living soldiers, no loud demands or wars. Instead, there were silent ships moving like shadows and a clear message: leave human space. Commander Rahl sat in the command room of the Vigilant, staring at the reports coming in. More unusual ships had been detected near the border. They appeared and disappeared in the blink of an eye, faster than any known technology. The Galactic Council was in chaos. Some species demanded an immediate response. Others pleaded for caution. But all agreed on one thing. Human space was no longer just a forbidden zone. It was an active, protected realm. In the midst of this, a crisis unfolded far from the border. The Jothari, a species known for their peaceful ways, faced an extinction-level disaster. Their home planet was dying and they had no place to go. Desperate, a Jothari fleet prepared to cross into human space, hoping to find refuge or at least safe passage. The Galactic Council debated fiercely. Some argued that helping the Jothari was the right thing to do. Others feared provoking the humans. Commander Rahl was called to the council. He listened as voices clashed. "If we stop the Jothari," Valia said, "we break our own principles of mercy. But if we allow them in, we risk war with humanity." The council finally made a difficult decision: they would not interfere. The Jothari would enter human space and humanity would respond. The Jothari fleet moved quietly but quickly. They crossed the border and disappeared into the dark silence. Hours later, the council waited in tense silence. Then, the unexpected happened. The Jothari ships vanished. No distress signal. No explanation. Just silence. Panic spread. "What happened to them?" General Cord demanded. No one had an answer. Then, across thousands of light years, old human satellites and stations began to wake. Dormant for centuries, they flickered back to life, sending signals and beacons throughout human space. A long dormant message echoed through the galaxy. Protocol breach detected. Humanity reinitializing. The stars near human space shimmered. Strangely, fold space routes shifted, and new ships emerged, silent, fast, and deadly in their efficiency. They were unlike anything seen before. Commander Rahl watched in awe and fear as the new ships moved with precision and power. Their technology was beyond comprehension. Then came the message, "You were warned, this space is claimed, leave." The voice was calm but carried the weight of absolute authority. Rahl felt the truth of those words deep inside. The humans had returned, not as conquerors, but as guardians of their domain. The council scrambled to respond. Attempts to communicate were met with silence or firm refusals. Ambassador Velia stood once more before the council, her voice steady. "The humans have not come back to fight. They have come back to protect what is theirs." Rahl nodded. "Their technology is designed to stop intruders without violence. We saw it with the missing ships and the vanished Jathari fleet. The galaxy was faced with a new reality. The humans were not gone, and their space was more dangerous than ever. Some species began to pull their fleets back from the border. Others started secret negotiations to understand how to live with this new order. But one thing was clear. The ancient warning was no longer a legend, it was the law of the galaxy, and those who broke it paid the price. The galaxy held its breath. The humans, guardians of their forgotten space, had made their presence clear, and the message was unmistakable. No species enters human space. Commander Rahl watched the stars from the bridge of the Vigilant. The silence beyond the border was no longer just empty darkness. It was alive with power, protection, and warnings. The Council had accepted the new reality. The humans were gone as a race but lived on through their machines, their technology, and their unyielding will to protect their home. But peace came at a price. The disappearance of the Jathari fleet was a painful reminder. No one had seen them again. No debris, no signals, only silence. The Jathari homeworld was lost. This made many question the cost of crossing the forbidden border. Was any help worth the risk? Ambassador Velia spoke to the council, her voice filled with sorrow but also resolve. "We must honor the humans' warning and respect their space. We must also find ways to help those in need without crossing boundaries." The council agreed on a new mission: to develop technology that could provide aid beyond human space without breaking the sacred border. Meanwhile, Commander Rahl continued his quiet vigil. He wondered if the humans themselves ever imagined this outcome: a galaxy afraid, respectful, and peaceful because of the shadow they left behind. One day, a signal came from deep inside human space. It was different from before, soft, cautious, almost hopeful. Rahl ordered the Vigilant to respond. "Who are you?" he asked through the communication channels. The answer came after a long pause. "We are the remnants of humanity's will, not flesh and blood but something more. We watch, we protect, and we hope for peace." The humans' guardians spoke of a choice they had made centuries ago: to leave their bodies and become eternal watchers of their space. They said they did not want war, only respect. "We will allow passage to those who prove peaceful intent," the message continued. "But beware, the boundary is not just a line in space. It is a test of will and respect." Rahl felt hope stir inside him. Perhaps there was a way forward, a path for the galaxy to coexist with the guardians of human space. He shared the message with the council. Plans began for peaceful contact, for careful exploration, and for new alliances. The galaxy had learned a powerful lesson. Respect for boundaries brought peace, and fear without understanding only bred more silence. As the years passed, the stories of the humans, their power, their wisdom, and their warning became a legend of hope and caution. The border of human space remained, but it was no longer just a place of fear. It was a reminder that the greatest strength lies not in conquest, but in respect. Commander Rahl looked at the stars once more. "The galaxy is vast," he said softly, "and we have much to learn. But now we do so with respect and hope." In the year 2641, the Galactic Council was the most powerful group in the known universe. It was made up of 72 different alien races. They all worked together to keep peace in space and protect weaker planets from harm. Earth had joined the Council just 70 years before. Many of the older, more powerful races did not trust humanity at first, but Earth had quickly proven itself useful. Humans were good at science, they learned fast, and they had brave space explorers and skilled diplomats. Earth sent many ambassadors to the council meetings. One of these ambassadors was Captain Alara Miles, a woman in her early 30s with sharp eyes and a calm voice. She had worked hard to represent Earth well. She believed that being part of the council would help humans and others live together, peacefully. But not everyone in the council liked humans. Some of the older, more experienced alien races felt threatened by how quickly Earth was growing. They whispered among themselves, worried that humanity's strength might upset the balance of power. One of the most powerful races in the council was the Zarn Dominion. The Zarn were tall, with many eyes and sharp claws. They had ruled many star systems for centuries. Another was the Vile Confederacy, a cold and logical race known for their advanced technology and strict laws. These two groups led many of the secret meetings where they talked about the human problem. Ilara had begun to sense something wrong during the last council summit on Denari Prime, a beautiful planet covered in purple forests and blue rivers. The summit was supposed to be about trade agreements and new rules for space exploration. But Ilara noticed strange looks and secret whispers whenever humans were near. One night, when most of the council members had left their chambers to attend a celebration, Ilara found a hidden room behind a large holographic map. Inside was a data terminal still logged into the council's secret files. Curious and cautious, she quickly scanned the files. What she found shocked her. There was a plan to accuse Earth of causing a terrorist attack on a neutral planet called Trian 5. The attack would kill thousands of innocent aliens and blame would be placed on Earth's space fleet. The goal was clear: to make Earth an enemy of the Council and remove humans from power. The leaders of this plan were the Zarn and the Veil. They feared that humanity's power would grow too strong and that Earth would not obey the Council's old rules. They believed that if Earth was destroyed or driven away, the other races could keep control. Alara's heart pounded. She knew she had to warn Earth quickly. But before she could leave the hidden room, she heard footsteps. A voice called out from the doorway. "Alara Miles, what are you doing here?" It was Ambassador Talrex of the Vile Confederacy. His cold blue eyes were filled with anger. "Alara, you must stop this," he said softly but firmly. "You do not understand the danger humanity brings." Alara did not answer. She took a deep breath and replied, "I understand perfectly. You're planning a betrayal, and it will fail." Talrex smiled thinly. "We have the Council's support. You cannot stop what is already set in motion." Ilara knew she was in danger, but she was determined. She grabbed a small device from her pocket, a communicator, and sent a quick encrypted message to Earth's fleet command. She said only 5 words. "They turned on us." The next day, the council meeting began with a shocking announcement. Earth was declared rogue. All Earth representatives were expelled immediately. Trade agreements were canceled. The council ships were ordered to blockade the Sol system, the star system where Earth and its planets lived. Humanity was isolated. Ilara's ship, the Vindicator, was targeted for capture. She barely escaped through a secret route in the Denari system. As her ship disappeared into a hidden warp gate, she looked back at the Council's homeworld, Jaren Station, a massive space station filled with stars and flags of all the Council races. Her voice echoed in the ship's intercom. "They will regret this." Back on Earth, the news was met with shock and anger. People gathered in cities and towns watching the Council's announcement on giant screens. For many, it was hard to believe that their friends in the Council had turned against them. For others, it was a call to prepare for what might come. Admiral Jonah Riker, the commander of Earth's unified Terran fleet, called a meeting in the Great Hall beneath the surface of Luna, Earth's moon. The hall was filled with officers, scientists, and diplomats. Riker was a tall man with silver hair and steady eyes. He had fought in many conflicts before, and had always believed that humans were stronger together. "We have been betrayed," he said. "But this is not the end. It is a new beginning." He explained that Earth had been ready for this moment. For decades, scientists and engineers had been working in secret on new technology. The Council thought they knew Earth's power, but they were wrong. Earth's fleet was equipped with new stealth drives that could hide ships from sensors. They had developed quantum warp gates that could move entire fleets quickly and without leaving traces. Their artificial intelligence systems could coordinate thousands of ships perfectly in battle. And there was the Odin Protocol, Earth's final plan for defense and justice. It was a set of rules that allowed Earth's commanders to respond to any attack with precise and controlled force. It was designed not to destroy innocent lives, but to protect Earth and send a clear message to anyone who dared threaten humanity. Riker's voice grew stronger. We will not beg for peace from those who betrayed us. We will show them that humanity does not forgive or forget. In the following weeks, Earth went dark. All non-essential communication with the outside universe stopped. Satellites went silent. Ships left their stations and disappeared into deep space. The Council assumed Earth was broken. Their spies reported confusion and fear on Earth. They thought humanity was finished. But beneath the silence, Earth's people were working harder than ever. The fleet trained day and night. New ships were built in secret shipyards hidden inside asteroids. Scientists pushed their technology to new limits. Captain Ilara Miles, now back on Earth, helped coordinate the fleet's plans. She knew that this was not just a fight for survival. It was a fight for humanity's right to exist in the galaxy. One evening, she stood on the observation deck of the Vindicator. The stars outside sparkled like diamonds in the black sky. She thought about the Council, about betrayal and trust, and about the future. She spoke softly to herself. They betrayed us, but they will see the true power of Earth. As the Vindicator prepared to leave orbit, a quiet alert came through the ship's system. The message was simple but powerful. Prepare to depart. The time to act has come. Ilara smiled. The long silence was about to end. Earth's fleet was coming. After Earth's sudden fall from grace in the Galactic Council, the galaxy watched and waited. But from the outside, nothing moved in the Sol system. No signals. No signs of Earth's great fleet. It was as if the entire planet had gone silent. Many Council members whispered that Earth had been broken by the betrayal, that their fleet had been destroyed or scattered. They felt relief, but they did not know the truth. Deep beneath the surface of Luna, Earth's moon, a vast command center, hummed with life. It was hidden inside the mare Imbrium, a huge crater filled with layers of technology, light, and activity. This was the heart of Earth's secret defense, the unified Terran Fleet headquarters. Admiral Jonah Riker stood before a huge holoscreen showing the planets of the Sol system. His face was calm, but his eyes were sharp. The Council's betrayal had hurt deeply, but it had also made humanity stronger. We will not give them the satisfaction of seeing us fall, Riker said to his officers. They think we are silent, broken, and afraid. They will learn that silence is the calm before the storm. Around him, captains, engineers, and scientists worked quickly and quietly. This was no ordinary fleet. For years, Earth had been secretly building new technology far beyond what the Council knew. It was their hidden strength. Riker turned to Captain Ilara Miles, who stood beside him. She had returned to Earth after escaping the Council's attack on Denari Prime. Her experience and knowledge made her a key part of Earth's defense. Captain, what is the status of the stealth fleet? Riker asked. Ilara tapped her tablet and smiled faintly. All stealth ships are ready. The new drives are working perfectly. We can move without detection. She glanced at the map. The Council fleets will not expect us to appear, not for a long time. Riker nodded. Good. The Odin Protocol is in place. If the Council attacks us again, we will respond swiftly and decisively. The Odin Protocol was a plan made to protect Earth and teach the galaxy a lesson. It was designed to prevent war, but if war came, Earth would be ready. The officers began final preparations for the fleet's first mission. They would not rush blindly into battle. Instead, they would wait and watch. Meanwhile, across the galaxy, rumors spread about Earth's silence. The Council sent scouts to Sol, but all they found were empty signals and fake transmissions. Some ships moved in and out of orbit, but Earth's real fleet was nowhere to be seen. The Council's leaders believed Earth's technology was inferior. They thought humans would crumble without their diplomats and trade. They underestimated the strength hidden beneath the silence. On a small space station near the edge of the Sol system, a group of alien traders discussed the news. "They are gone," said Vax, a trader from the Murian species, known for their green skin and sharp teeth. "Earth has vanished. No one hears from them." His companion Lyra, an engineer from the Quinari race, shook her head. "I don't believe it. Earth has always been clever. They must be planning something." Vax laughed. "Planning? Against the Council? They are fools if they think they can fight the Council fleets." Lyra looked out the window at the stars. "Maybe. But I would not want to be on the other side when Earth decides to act." Back on Luna, the fleet grew stronger each day. New ships arrived, crewed by the best pilots and officers from Earth and its colonies. The fleet trained and simulated battles using advanced artificial intelligence to practice endless strategies. Alara watched as young pilots learned to fly in formations that no other race had ever seen. The AI helped them coordinate perfectly, like one mind controlling thousands of ships. "This is more than a fleet," Alara told Riker one day. "It's a new kind of force." Riker smiled. "Yes. And it's built for a galaxy that no longer trusts us." They both knew the time was coming when Earth could no longer stay silent. As the months passed, small ships began to quietly leave Sol, heading to far points in the galaxy. Earth sent messages to some species who had not joined the Council or had been mistreated by them. Ilara led a special diplomatic team. They reached out to those who had felt the Council's heavy hand, offering friendship and protection. "We don't want more enemies," Ilara said during a meeting with the Zenthari, a peaceful bird-like race. "We only want to protect ourselves and those who wish to live freely." Many races listened. Some quietly supported Earth. Others stayed loyal to the Council, watching nervously. On the day that the Council declared Earth rogue, Earth's leaders had decided not to respond immediately. Instead, they prepared a message for the galaxy, one that would arrive when the time was right. Ilara sat in the command room, sending out the encrypted signal to the fleet and their allies. The message was simple but clear. "We will not be silent forever." The Council tried to ignore it. But inside their halls, fear grew. They did not understand Earth's true power, nor the unity of the Terran fleet. One night, Riker stood alone on the observation deck of the Luna base. The vast black sky stretched above him, filled with stars. He thought of Earth's past, how humans had fought wars on their own planet, survived disasters, and risen again stronger each time. Now the entire galaxy was watching. He spoke quietly. To the stars, "We have been betrayed. But this is not the end. It is the beginning of something new. They will learn what it means to underestimate humanity." Suddenly, alarms sounded throughout the base. Sensors had detected an unknown fleet moving through deep space, heading toward the Veil Confederacy's home planet. The ships showed no signature on normal scans. They moved faster than any Council fleet had seen before. Ilara's voice filled the command center, calm but firm. "This is it. The Council won't expect us to strike first." Riker gave the order. "Prepare the fleet for immediate departure." In minutes, hundreds of Earth's ships powered up. The quiet silence of the Sol system ended. As Earth's fleet sped through space, the galaxy trembled. No one knew where. They would strike first. The Council's leaders feared the worst. For the first time, Earth was no longer silent. It was ready to fight, not to destroy, but to protect. The battle for humanity's future had begun.